திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும்பரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமா முகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெருங்கருணையினாலே ஞானத்திரள் சார்பாக பெரிய புராணத்தை ஆங்கிலத்தில் தொடர்ந்து சிந்திக்கின்ற ஞான வேள்வியில் திருஞான சம்பந்த நாயனாருடைய தொடரை நாம் தொடர்ந்து சிந்திக்கின்ற வாங்கிலே மேலும் சில செய்திகளை இன்றைய தினம் ஆங்கிலத்தில் சிந்திப்பதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. This program is being sponsored by Kathar Saravanan and Saravanan couple. Both of them are very much interested in promoting this project, bringing out the life histories of 63 Nayanmars to the people who may not be well versed with Tamil, but they should also be knowing the greatness of Sivanadiyars who have dedicated their lives for the love of Lord Shiva. Every Nayanmar lived in their own way of life, own way of life. A weaver, a fisherman, a king, a worker, whoever it may be, they lived their own life. But the very important thing is they lived for Lord Shiva. It is the important thing that we have to note down, that they lived for Lord Shiva. They did everything for Lord Shiva. They led a life with a wife, children and family members. They led the life with all the kith and kin. But still, how was it possible for them to reach the lotus feet of Lord Shiva? It was a big question that we have to ask ourselves. See, if you just compare the life of Sivanadiyar depicted in Periyapurnam, the style of life may not be very much variant with our routine life. But they were able to develop their love to the extent that they would even sacrifice their life for the love of Shiva, Lord Shiva. They would know only one thing in their life, Lord Shiva. They breathe for Lord. They eat for Lord Shiva. They talk for Lord Shiva. They converse, they run, they sleep, they do anything in the name of Lord Shiva. So they have made their life a routine by involving Lord Shiva in each and every step and aspect of life. See, there were merchants in the Nayanmars. There were merchants. They were doing business, but still they had an enormous, immeasurable love for Lord Shiva, that they never left their thoughts from Lord Shiva. They were always attached to Lord Shiva, chanting his 5-lettered mantra and doing everything in the name of Lord Shiva. So, it may be a wonderful feat for an ordinary man to think that people who lived like us reached the lotus feet of Lord Shiva means how did they did this or they were able to achieve this. How they were able to achieve this? Only because of their determination and dedication. Determination and dedication, both of them, both the aspects or both the qualities, you can see in all 63 verses. So, likewise, if we make our life towards the goal of Lord Shiva, then one day or other we would be successful in reaching his lotus feet. In Saivam, Mukti is nothing but the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. Anniyaminmayin Arankadal Sellume. Ayara Anbil Arankadal Sellume. Likewise, it goes in Sivakumar Bodham. So, whenever they say about Mukti, it is only reference to the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. So, they don't even want the Mukti, the people, they don't even want Mukti in return of their devotion and determination and their sincerity. They don't want anything in return. Even if Lord Shiva comes forward, okay, I am ready to give you anything, what do you want? They will say, why should we want at all? We have a nascent love for you. Why should we want anything other than that? Maravamayogiya anbu, ayara anbu. Iravada inba anbu vendi, pin venduகின்றார். Everlasting love they are asking. Everlasting love you want, never ending, everlasting love for Lord Shiva. The level should never go down because of any incident in my life. Ups and downs are natural things in one's life. See, it cannot go in a straight path. You cannot see a straight line graph. With so many ups and downs, a signal, it is our life. One day we will be cheerful, the next day will be very dull, the third day we will not be interested, the fourth day we will be very pious and we will be loving and we will be thirsting for Lord Shiva, and the very next day would have lost all the previous days' feel. Likewise, it goes ups and downs the whole life. But if you are able to draw the graph of the lifestyle of Nayanmar, it would be a straight line. That's all. You take in the x-axis time, you take love intensity in the y-axis, and if you draw a graph on the day basis, naturally what would be the graph, what would be the output, nobody knows. But for 9 months we very well know that it would be a straight line drawn from the maximum love. It would be a straight line parallel to the x-axis. Parallel to the x-axis. So that much of love, that much of determination and the consistency, it makes your bhakti successful. Bhakti, it's a very lovable term, bhakti, but it is not properly defined. Bhakti means it cannot be viewed as if one is often visiting a temple. You cannot claim that he is having more bhakti. One is not often visiting the temple, once in a while he goes, then you cannot grade his bhakti as lower one. That you can't do. Bhakti is something else. It is the deep, sincere, determined, dedicated love. That is called bhakti. That bhakti you need not imagine, you can just visualize that bhakti in the life of our Nayanmars. Okay, now we have been seeing the episodes of Gnanasambandar, Pillayar. We call him by this loving name, Pillayar. Aaludaya Pillayar, Pillayar. Since he drank the holy milk of Umai, he is called Pillayar. Now we left him in Sirgadi in the last discourse. He was there, Ubanayanam was conducted, the holy function, and there he explained and cleared many doubts in the Vedas for the scholars who came over there to teach him Veda. They were very much delighted to collect so many informations, and they were also delighted to get cleared of their doubts in Veda. And finally, after clearing their doubts, Gnanasambandar Peruman Pillayar gave them the message that even though they may be scholars of Vedas, Agamas, all those things, one thing they must understand, that the whole essence, the whole key nucleus of all Vedas is the 5-lettered mantra. Everything emanated only from 5-lettered mantra. He asked them that never to forget the 5-lettered mantra. By reciting 5-lettered mantra, they would be practicing Vedas in a meaningful way. The 5-lettered mantra would be leading them to conduct yajnas and other things in a meaningful way. If they know the 5-lettered mantras, a real essence. So he preached them, he gave them even the Upadesam, and everybody left with happiness. And Gnanasambandar stayed in Sirgadi for quite a long time, and during that time he used to visit Brahmapuram, and he uttered a lot of padhikams of special nature. The padhikams were never composed before like that. Malai Mathu, Komutri, நாலடி மேல் ஈரடி வைப்பு, ஈரடி மேல் ஈரடி வைப்பு, like that, Chitrakavi, all those things, Thiru Gnanasambandar, so many things he composed when he was there. And at that time, when he was in Sirhari, our Tirunavukarasu, he was doing Vadavaram, that is cleaning the temple. He was doing that in Sidambaram, Thillai. He was cleaning the whole temple with the tears on his cheek, running down from the eyes. And he was very much impressed and very happy. He was very happy to be in Thillai, and he uttered himself that I would never leave Chidambaram. I would be here for a long time because I want to enjoy the proximity, the close proximity of the Kuttan, Thillai Kuttan. He spent most of the time in the temple. He was doing temple service, he was doing cleaning, and he was with the Adiyars, and he was also preaching so many things about Lord Shiva to the Adiyars, and Adiyars followed him, accompanied him, and things were going very nice. At that time, Appar Swamigal, Thirunavukarasar, heard about Thiru Gnanasambandar. One child in Sirhari was blessed with Umai's breast milk, and after that, that child was giving out Tamil verses in a beautiful way, and people were swarming the whole town, and he was also giving out lot of new types of verses and doing wonders. He heard about Pillayar. Immediately he got the impulse to go and meet him at Sirhari. Previously he wanted to continue in Thillai, but when he heard about Pillayar, he changed his mind. He decided to go to Thillai, and he decided to have darshan of Pillayar. Understand, he didn't want to meet Pillayar. He didn't want to meet Pillayar. Not like that. Not visiting or not meeting. He thought that I would go there and I would be meeting Pillayar. No. I would be running over there and I would have the darshan of Pillayar. I would be having darshan of Pillayar. That was his idea. Tiruchittambalam. Sorry. So he went to the temple premises, went to the Gnanasabai, and he bid goodbye to Lord Shiva, saying that he would be coming after some time, if at all he permits. He was saying like that, and he came out and proceeded towards Sirhari. On the way, he was having his hands above his head like this. Before even seeing him, he was longing to have darshan of Pillayar, and tears were running down from his eyes. What a boon this child has. I had been to that Jain group, spent a lot of time in a wasteful manner. The whole life I wasted there, and only in my late life I came over to Saivam, and I was afraid of getting near the Yaman, because I don't want any more birth. If I don't want any more birth, I should be blessed by Lord Shiva. I should be near him. Then only I would not be having any more birth in this world. But the old age is not an appropriate time to offer our prayers, to pray for, to conduct pujas. It is not an appropriate age. Old age may not permit you to do so many things which are necessary for getting nearer to Lord Shiva. So the period, the middle age and the young age, that period should be utilized to get nearer to Lord Shiva. Then only the later life would be very easily conducted by us. So the Appar Swamigal, the Thirugnanasambandar Swamigal thought Pillayar, as a child he came over and he was blessed. So I should have a darshan of Pillayar. He was thinking about that and he was rushing towards, as a matter of fact, literally he was running and rushing towards Sirgari. The message reached Pillayar. He was in his mutt with Adiyas surrounded him, and he received the message that Thirugnanasambandar Swamigal is approaching Sirgari to have darshan of Pillayar. He received that message. Immediately he decided to go and greet him in the Sirgari border. I need not wait, I will not wait for him to come over here. I will go in advance. I would be going to the border. I would be greeting him there, he thought. So with his adiyars, Gnanasambandar proceeded towards the border. But before that, Thirugnanasambandar reached the border and crossed and he entered the Sirgari. He was coming very fastly, and our Pillayar was also approaching. He was coming. Both of them had the darshan of each other. Pillayar was taken aback on seeing him. Whoa! This should be the image of a real devotee. See, on seeing him, I get so much of happiness by just having a look at him. So much of pleasure rushes to me. So much of pleasure is coming over to me on seeing him. Just by seeing him, I am not exchanging any words, but just seeing him makes me very happy. Oh, this should be the real quality of a Tondar. He was thinking and approaching. Our Thirugnanasambandar Swamigal, on seeing Pillayar, virtually speaking or literally speaking, he melted. He melted. He didn't see Pillayar there. He saw Lord Shiva in a child form. Lord Shiva in a child form was there. Lord Shiva was walking, lifting his hands and nodding his head. Lord Shiva was doing all these gestures. So on seeing him, without hesitating, without thinking about his background, without thinking about his age, nothing came before him. He just prostrated before him. Pillayar was a little lightly shocked, and he just held his hands and lifted up. and he took the hands, and he had the hands on his eyes. He said, what a boon I had, what a big boon. How am I to believe this? He was saying. I am very much blessed. So I had been longing for this moment. Pillayar was saying all these things. Appar was not able to give out any words. He was overwhelmed, overjoyed. No words came out of his mouth. Only tears were running down. He just saluted him, and he was standing there looking at Pillayar without shifting his sight, only looking at Pillayar and swallowing the what do we call Amudam, the bliss of Lord Shiva. And finally, Gnanasambandar broke the whole thing and called Thiru Gnanasambandar as Appare. He called him. Then only he came into the world. He was wandering in a different world, and he was brought to the existing world by Thiru Gnanasambandar saying, Appare, he called him. On hearing that, I am a devotee of you, Appar Swami said. I am a devotee of you. Tondanen, he said. Both of them then got ease, and they went into the mud. They decided to go to the temple, and they proceeded towards the temple. There, Appar Swami recited some Padiham. Gnanasambandar also recited Padiham. And they were exchanging views, exchanging good wishes, and they were there. On the compulsion of Pillayar, Naukar sir, Appar Swami stayed in Sirgadi for a few days. Every day they used to visit the Sirgadi, Brahmapuram, Thodipuram, and they paid obeisance to the Lord Shiva, and they paid their tribute or their padihams in Tamil verses. They were there. Both of them enjoyed every moment. One enjoyed the association of the other. So likewise they were there. On seeing them, the people were also joyful. People also enjoyed every moment. They saw them as the two eyes of Saivam. And everything was very nice. And one day, Naukar sir decided to visit more temples. And also he thought that I should not be in the way of Pillayar. Pillayar may be having his own plans. Why should I stand in his plans? If I am here, Pillayar will never leave Sirgali and will not go on tour. So I have to leave this place. I am also willing to visit temples. So he came and told Pillayar that he wanted to leave the place Sirgadi and to go visit many more temples and do the Udavaram. Cleaning was required by many temples at that time. So, and also Appar Swamigal, when he goes to any temple, he would be doing the Vadavaram, the cleaning service, but also he would be teaching, preaching, guiding other devotees also in the same line. They would be telling, he would be telling them that if you want to reach Lord Shiva quickly and firmly, the only way is to do service. Do service. Pani seidu panimin. You must do the service and then you must do the prayer. See, before doing service, before doing anything like that, if you go and do the prayer or puja, it won't be looking very nice for Lord Shiva. This fellow is coming and doing puja, but he is not doing any service. He may not be very much interested. So what you must do is do service. Either do service for the temple or you do service for the adiyars. Simple service, the service which is possible for you, which can be done by you, that service you must do. So that is doing service is the password to enter into Saivam. If you don't do service, then you cannot enter. That is why it is called Sariyai. Sariyai is also a phase of the penance. Unless otherwise you do service, you cannot enter into that. Sariyai is very, very important to get into the Kiriyai. Only after that Kiriyai is being recommended. And only after that Yogam is recommended. Both Sariyai and Kiriyai are essential for doing yoga. If you don't do service, if you don't do puja, then you are not eligible to do yoga. You are not supposed to do. You may be doing, but one thing you must understand, the result should be given only by Lord Shiva. If you do something, the outcome, how it would be delivered only by Lord Shiva. So if you do yoga, the result or the outcome of your yoga should be delivered only by Lord Shiva. How he would be able to deliver unless otherwise you are not doing, if you are not doing Sariyai and Kiriyai, then he won't be accepting this yoga at all. You will be doing, but whether it would have been accepted by Lord Shiva, it is not very sure. So if you want your yoga to be accepted by Lord Shiva, do service, do puja, then go for yoga. Nowadays yoga are taught, yogas are practiced, yogas are exercised, but I do not know whether they understand the basic concept of yoga. It has been explained in Saivam very nicely. The whole Tantram, the third Tantram, has been dedicated by Tirumular for yoga only. Yoga only. Okay, now Tirunakar Swamigal got relieved. He proceeded towards his program tour, and Gnanasambandar was there, and he was in Sirgadi. He was visiting daily Thonipurathar and offering him songs. Yalpanar and Madanga Sulamuniyar, both of them always accompanying Pillayar, offered the verses in Yal. They only recorded the pund in which Gnanasambandar offered the Padiyam. Subsequently, it was carried over and reached our Oduvars, and Oduvars are practicing them. So, it has been taken through centuries, that we should remember. Pillayar wanted to visit other temples also. He decided to leave Sirgadi, and he conveyed his idea of leaving Sirgadi to visit more temples to his father. His dad told him, okay, what you have decided is correct. I was also thinking of that. Now you permit me to accompany you. I do not know how long I can do this, that is accompanying you wherever you go, how long I can. Now God has given you a palanquin and you are traveling in this palanquin. That much I am very much convinced. But still, I want to accompany you wherever you go. I consider this very, very rare opportunity to accompany you, and by that way I am also visiting the oldest ancient temples. So, I am willing to accompany you. He asked his permission. Pillayar accepted. Okay, you can go ahead and you can come along with me. He gave the permission. And with that, Pillayar started one day, and before leaving, he went and reported to Brahmapuri sir of his tour. He left Sirgadi. He visited so many temples. He travelled along the northern bank of river Kaveri. He visited Thiruvelur, Tirupalamanni, Tirumanamcheri, Tiruvelvikudi. Wherever he went, he uttered a padiyam for that, and we have padiyams for these temples now, composed by him. And subsequently he continued his tour, went to Kanjanur, Tirumandurai, Thiru Gnanasambandar, and he came to Thiruvayaru. In Thiruvayaru, he praised the way in which Nandi was blessed by Lord Shiva, and he continued giving out padiyams in Thiruvayaru. புலனைந்தும் பொறிகலங்கி நெறிமயங்கி அறிவழிந்திட்டு ஐமேலுந்தி அலமந்த போதாக அஞ்சேல் என்று அருள் செய்வான் சிலமந்தி அலமந்து மரமேறி முகில் பார்க்கும் திருவையாரே. வலமந்த மடவார்கள் நடமாட முழவதிர சிலமந்தி அலமந்து மழையன்று அஞ்சி. அந்த திருவையார், he was saying that Thiruvayaru, the Lord would be coming at the last moment of one's life if one has dedicated him to, surrendered him to his lotus feet. Those surrendered at his lotus feet would be taken care at the deathbed and the time the Yaman was arriving. He would be saving the soul from the clutches of Yaman. That was the message narrated by Thiru Gnanasambandar. And subsequently he continued his tour. He continued his tour and he visited so many temples in even at the remote places there were temples, but he never hesitated to visit them. He came to Tirumalapadi, Tirukkanur, and he came to Tirupachalachiramam. Tirupachalachiramam, it was the place belonging to Malanadu, Mala country. Malanadu, the province, Mala province. The Tirupachalachiramam, actually the temple was called by Tirupachalachiramam Koil. The place Malanadu, the province of Mala, it was located in the Kolli hills, Kolli Malai, the people used to call. Dense forest and hillside, and it was ruled by a king called King Malavan, Kolli Malavan was there. He was a staunch devotee of Lord Shiva, and he did lot of service to Tirupachalachiramam temple. He used to visit that temple, and he surrendered at his feet, and he was doing so much of service to the people in the name of Lord Shiva, and he was always chanting Lord Shiva's name, and he was ruling very, very nicely, and people were very fond of him. He was also having one daughter. She was also very nice and beautiful daughter, but when she grew up, she was affected by a disease called Moyalahan. It was a disease connected with the nervous system of the physical body, and she would be feeling tired, and she would be always lying down on the floor because of the disease. Malavan tried so much of treatment. He brought so many doctors, and he tried so much of medicining and treatment, and nothing gave the result. And at last people, the doctors, they told him that this disease cannot be, may be uncurable. It cannot be cured at all. He has to depend on Lord Shiva's wish. Since he was a devotee of Lord Shiva, only if Lord Shiva wishes, this disease could be cured. Nothing else, nobody, no treatment would be serving the purpose. They clearly told him. On hearing that, he decided that to take his daughter to the temple and keeping her in the temple itself in the presence of Lord Shiva. Why? It is because he thought that she is not the daughter of mine, she is the daughter of Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva has to take care of her. He should cure her. He decided, let him do whatever he likes. Let him cure or not cure, it is up to him. But I will leave her in the custody of Lord Shiva. He thought like that and took his daughter and brought her to the temple and laid before Lord Shiva near the altar. She was there. At that time, he heard the information that Gnanasambandar had come to the city, the town, Tirupachalachiramam, and he rushed towards the border to greet him. He made quick arrangements to adorn the whole town, and he gave orders for the women folk to come with all the essential things to greet him, pots filled with water, mirror and all other fruits like that. They came over to greet Pillayar at the entrance of the city, town. Once Pillayar came there, they greeted him with all the love, and Kolli Malavan prostrated before him, and he sprinkled the flowers in his lotus feet, in Pillayar's lotus feet, and took him to the temple. Pillayar came to the temple, entered it, and he bowed before the Gopuram, entered, and he came around the temple, and when he came near the altar, he saw the girl lying down there. He was looking at her, and he inquired the people near him, but Kolli Malavan rushed to the Pillayar, rushed to the spot and told Pillayar everything. He told Pillayar, "This is my daughter, she is suffering from Moyalagan. I tried all the treatments, but in vain. She can be cured only by Lord Shiva. So I do not know what to do. I just took her to the temple. I left to the decision of Lord Shiva. She was so much suffering that I cannot bear. So I brought her here." He told Pillayar. Pillayar immediately submitted Padiham to the Lord Shiva. "Oh my Lord, how can one devotee of you suffer like this? It's not fair. He is a true devotee of you. He dedicates everything in his life in the name of you. She also dedicates everything in the name of you. She is at your feet all the day. You drank the poison because of the devas. You did the wonders because of the souls. Madhavan is fond of you. Sincere devotee surrendered at your lotus feet. You should not give up his hope. Kindly cure this child." He was submitting in his phrases. What a wonder! Immediately on the completion of Padiham, the girl rose up, cured of the illness, and she immediately rushed towards her father and embraced him. Father was joyful, and his pleasure was immeasurable, and he took his daughter and rushed to Pillayar and prostrated before him. "Oh my Lord, we are seeing Lord Shiva in your form. We poor souls cannot have the glimpse of Lord Shiva. But what a boon we have! We are having the darshan of Lord Shiva in your form. You have done this wonderful thing only because you are Lord Shiva." He was praising him and paying all the Padiham, all the praisings before him, and also requested him to bless his daughter for the better future. So everything went on nice. Then Pillayar went to the Karuvarai, and there he uttered one more Padiham for Lord Shiva. And he came out, and Madhavan took Pillayar to the place where Pillayar had to reside, Pillayar had to stay. So he took him over there. Pillayar stayed there with all the Adiyars surrounded him. There he spent some days in Tirupachalachiramam. Every day he would be visiting the temple, uttering padhigams, and Kolli Madhavan and his daughter were very joyful and thanked Pillayar in as many ways as possible. Madhavan told Pillayar that I would be sacrificing my whole life for the service of Lord Shiva and his Adiyars. He uttered. Gnanasambandar blessed him, and then he told him that he wanted to leave, and he left the place, and he visited some more places nearby, Tirupanjili. All are in Trichy district. He visited there, and he decided to go to shrines in Kongu Nadu. So, before he proceeded, on the way he went to Ingoi, Thiru Ingoi Malai, and he went up to the hill and praised him and paid the obeisance and prostrated before Lord Shiva and uttered a padhigam there. Then he continued his journey, and he came to the south bank of river Kaveri, to the place Sengundrur, Tiruchengundrur. There he stayed with the Adiyars. Here we stop our discourse, and we will continue in our next episode. Pillayar with Adiyars, he is in Sengundram, Kodimada Chengundru. He was there with Adiyars. There he performed a very wonderful thing, which we are going to see in our next episode. And Gnanathiral released 2 books recently. One is Thiruvasagam, as per the life history of Manikavasagar. So, the Thiruvasagam which we are having now, it is not according to the lifestyle or life history of Manikavasagar. It has been arranged in a different manner. Now, we have tried our level best to sort out the padhigams in a fashion so that in what order the Thiruvasagam could have been sung by Manivasagar, in what order. So, that order was predicted according to his life history and arranged. You get this book and go through it, you would be enjoying, and you would be appreciating the mood of Manikavasagar throughout the Thiruvasagam book. And one more book Gnanathiral has released, Thirunavukarasar in Tamil, the life history of Thirunavukarasar. It has been explained in pictures. It is a comics book. Especially it has been designed for children, because you cannot teach the life history of Thirunavukarasar to a child very easily. But once you give a book like this, they would be willing to go through that whole book, and they would be coming to know about Thirunavukarasar. See, they would be uttering his name, Thirunavukarasar. They would be uttering the name. That would have been a very great success. See, you cannot make them to utter the name Thirunavukarasa. But suppose if they go through the book, they will call him Thirunavukarasa, they will call him Appar. So what a boon you think. It would be a great thing to utter great people's names. Thirunavukarasa, that name itself will yield so many good things in life. திருநாவுக்கரசு வளர் திருத்தொண்டின் நெறிவாழ வரியான தவமுனி வாகீசர் வாய்மத்திகள் பெருநாமச் சீர்பரவல் உருகின்றேன் வேறுலகில் ஒரு நாவுக்கு உரை செய்ய ஒண்ணாமை உணராதேன். That's how Divichekkidar resides. See, Thirunavukkarasu, the name is a special one. It is because it has been accorded by Lord Shiva. He gave that name to our Appar. So that name is a special name. You utter that name, you would be having beautiful, unforgettable and uncomparable results if you chant that name. It is equivalent to 5-lettered mantra Namah Shivaya. Our elders have guided us like that. You chant Navukarasa, it is as if you have chanted the 5-lettered mantra. So this Thirunavukarasa comics book is available. You can receive it by post also, postal charges extra, or you can receive it in person also. So try to get these books. You can give it to your children, or otherwise you can purchase it for other children also. I also request, some people have some influence with the schools, so they can have negotiation with the school teachers or headmaster or assistant master, and they can make arrangements to give these books in bulk to the students, to the school. Some schools may be willing to have like that. In Tirupur also, one school, they have purchased some good number of books and they distributed the books to their students. So you can also promote this to the schools also. That way you can do the service to our Tirumurais. With this, I am just closing down this episode with a 5-lettered mantra. I would be reciting 5 times. Kindly follow me, please. Tiruchitrambalam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Tiruchitrambalam. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.